Hi everybody, it's Tim from Engadget, and this is the Motorola Droid Bionic. Available now on Verizon Wireless. Cost is $2.99, and for that you're getting Verizon's first dual-core LTE device. This is from Motorola, and it's got something of a resemblance to the Droid X2 when you flip it over. The Droid X2 is also a dual-core device, but that had an NVIDIA Tegra 2 processor. This is a TI OMAP processor, both running at 1 GHz and again, both dual-core. This is the first dual-core LTE device, and it's also Verizon's thinnest dual-core LTE device. But as you can see, it's not exactly a thin device. It's certainly thicker than the original X2, which started out thick and kind of tapered off very nicely. This one starts out thick and pretty much stays thick. On the left side here we have micro-HDMI and micro-USB for charging and for outputting video. On the bottom, nothing, but the microphone for picking up your voice is right there. The volume rocker is on the right. On the top, headphone jack and the power jack. On the back we have an 8 megapixel camera which has an autofocus lens. Also is capable of recording 1080p video. We found pictures to be good. Focusing is generally good, but there was a bit of focus hunting in videos. Color is a bit drab compared to some other camera phones that we have worked with, but ultimately it does take reasonably sharp pictures. Here is the speaker for speakerphone. And of course under here is where the battery and some other goodies lie. So let's pry this off. This is a 1700 mAh battery, which is the largest that Verizon has yet put in an LTE device. And that does help a bit with battery life, but ultimately it's only a little bit bigger than the batteries seen in other devices like the Charge. And so battery life is not significantly different. This is not a device you're going to be able to very easily go all day long with if you are a heavy power user doing a lot of streaming, a lot of video, a lot of music, and a lot of time on LTE. You may very well find yourself needing to swap into another battery before the day is through. Right here's a 16 gigabyte micro SD card. That's paired against 16 gigabytes of internal storage, giving you a total amount of 32 gigabytes, which is quite a bit for a phone. It does help to somewhat offset that $2.99 price, but again, that's not exactly cheap for a phone these days. $2.99, though, it does seem to be the going price for a higher-end device at this point. Now, in terms of performance, we've been reasonably impressed by the device. Again, a 1 GHz chip is toward the top end of a modern smartphone these days, and it is indeed comparable to a device like the Photon 4G, which we recently reviewed. However, we have a suspicion that this will prove to be slower than devices like the Galaxy X2, which in US form at least will be running a faster chip. And so if you are looking to get the ultimate in high-end devices, this may not be it for very long. As you can see, though, that is certainly quick enough to load something like the Android browser very quickly. Let's bring up our favorite website. As you can see, it's loading very quickly here as well. And there, even the flash content is loaded in. Pinch to zoom, quite smooth. And so you certainly wouldn't call this a sluggish phone, not by any means at all. It's certainly quicker than something like the Droid Charge, which has a single-core processor. And if you're looking for a fast device with LTE, this is certainly it. In fact, we'd say this is the best device on Verizon right now. Unfortunately, Verizon will not be getting the Galaxy S2, so if you are pining for that device, you're going to have to look elsewhere. But this is certainly a good choice for someone who's been waiting around for a device that brings both LTE and a dual-core processor to the table, but just be prepared that you may still run into some battery issues, and you are still going to be dealing with a device that is a little bit chunky. So again, this is the Droid Bionic on Verizon Wireless, available now for $2.99.